Hello everybody, my name is Sniping is Fun, and I welcome you back to the next character I'm going to be talking about in my Smash Bros. Ultimate Newcomer series of videos. We are finally at number 70, and as I mentioned in the last video when I was talking about Lloyd Irving from the Tales franchise, this entry, character number 70, will be yet another indie game character I'm talking about. In the same veins, I talked about Shovel Knight, Shantae, Gunvolk, Quote, numerous indie game characters. The next one I want to talk about is Sash Lilac from Freedom Planet. And like always, before this intro gets too long, 3 categories. Why does she make sense to be in Smash Bros? Moveset ideas, and percentage chance I could actually see her getting in. Let's get started. Like, why does she make sense to get in? First and foremost, let's talk about Nintendo with their Nindies. Nintendo has been pushing indies so much that I feel we're going to get an indie character at some point in Smash Bros. Ultimate, whether they're on the base roster or their DLC, is yet to be seen. We don't even know the full base roster yet, so they might get one on the base roster, one might be DLC in next year or 2019, 20, 21 kind of range. But Nintendo's been pushing them so much, we should get at least one indie game character at some point in this game, or at least in some Smash Bros. At some point. From that, she's also from a big new indie game. It's not like these big mainstays like Shantae and Shovel Knight and Cave Story and Azure Striker Gunvolt. It's more of a new one. It came out around the Freedom Planet came out around the Wii U era, like 2012, 13ish. I'm trying to remember when Freedom Planet came out, like in that range, like 2013ish, 14ish range. 2012, 13, 14, 15 range, I forgot now where. It was like on the Wii U and everything. It was hyped up. It was like this big indie game that was pushing a Sonic style when Sega was pushing Sonic into the freaking ground. We have like a 2D Sonic style that we haven't seen in a long time. So her creator was trying to make a game similar to that, and it became a fairly big hit. It's representative of an indie that's close to Nintendo. It's been pretty much on Nintendo's brand. It was on other companies as well, other systems as well, but it is on Nintendo, so it represents an indie game that is on Nintendo, has history with Nintendo, and the game, it's basically connected to Sonic, which has a history with Nintendo and a similar style, and that's why fans gravitated to it so much. It's original too. It's not straight up a Sonic clone, but they kind of started off making it very Sonic. It does feel like it has Sonic qualities, so Sonic's a rival of Nintendo. This indie game has similarities to that. It's popular on Nintendo. Put two and two together, Sonic and Smash Bros. Lilac could be like a representative of something similar to that. And when I put this list together and I put the reasons for why it makes sense together, I said, could get a sequel. I haven't been keeping up with it enough because Freedom Planet 2 has been announced, and I don't know if it's out yet or if it is coming out. I'm sure it's going to come out next year probably because it was announced like last year. So I'm assuming next year we're going to be getting a Freedom Planet 2. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Marketing, advertising. One of the major things Smash Bros. Is about is marketing and advertising newer games at the time. You can put her in there as a DLC character probably next year. Because when Freedom Planet 2 comes out, which I'm sure is going to be on the Nintendo Switch because the history of the series on Nintendo, now she's a representative of an indie franchise that has 2 games. Shovel Knight. You still don't have Shovel Knight 2 yet. That's going to happen one day. And that's why you're an assist trophy. But there are indie game characters out there that have multiple games, and now she's in that. So now that she's not just a one game character, that kind of helps her chances a bit. And there's going to be a second game coming out soon, so that's the reason why I feel she should get in. So that's the reasons. It's a big new indie game that's getting a sequel probably next year. It's close to Nintendo and it's kind of connected to Sonic, and she is a popular character. I have seen her requested before. It's not like she has never been requested for Smash Brothers. So she does have popularity on her side too. Moveset ideas. Now, I never actually played Freedom Planet. I've always wanted to. I just never got around to it, and one day I will. And I am going to look forward to the second one next year or whenever it comes out. But I did research what her moveset style is and how she fights, and it has similarities to Sonic, but not really. She's trained in martial arts by this group called the Red Scares, so she can fight. She does have combat abilities. And her smash attacks, she kind of can do a ponytail whip, so it's basically kind of like a Shantae Dixie Kong type of thing. Her hair is her weapon. You see this long hair, that's her hair. She spins around and smacks people with her hair, and she can do kicks. So I focus her smash attacks mostly on her spinning around, hitting people with her hair, and her kicks. So she can just whip her head and she hits them, or she can spin around and she does like probably damage on both sides. And she can like kick opponents. So she knows how to fight. She knows martial arts. She can fight. So I'd say that'd be her smash attacks mainly. Her special attacks are all like her special abilities, all her different little things. One of the things she can do is called the Dragon Boost. You know how Sonic goes and spins and she can basically Dragon Boost in any direction. And to make sure it's not like something she damages any opponent she hits when she does that. So to make it not OP, you know how in Smash Brothers certain characters have special abilities, like how Robin can only use the tome so much or the sword so much, how you can build up a meter for Little Mac, how you can see the items that the villager can grab items and use them and stuff like that. That's her special ability. She has a meter that she has to wait to charge up so she could use a Dragon Boost. If it's not fully charged, you can't use the Dragon Boost, so she can't Dragon Boost all over the freaking place. So she's not OP. So you wait for it to charge, she charges it up, and she can launch herself like a comet in any direction. She's like, pew, 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 pew. You just basically pick a direction, you charge up, you're like, she's like, and then you just press a direction when you let go of the button kind of thing. She could do the Dragon Cyclone, which is basically her spin hits with her hair. So more powerful versions of that. I'd say put basic versions of that in her smash attack. I just mentioned that a few seconds ago, like a minute ago. So her Dragon Cyclone would be more powerful version. She does like little spins around. She can hit people with her hair. She does a dive kick, so that would be one of her air attacks. She jumps up in the air and she can do a dive kick. And she could do a rising slash, which she basically uppercuts people with her hair. And she could do the blink dash, which is basically like a shorter distance version of her Dragon Boost. She could do dash short distances into a opponent. So that's the one you could use all the time. A less powerful version of a Dragon Boost. The Dragon Boost, however, like I said, is a meter. You have to wait for the charge so you can use it. So it's strategic, risk versus reward. You can't Dragon Boost all the time, be OP. So there's that. But yeah, the blink dash can be used at any time. So that's kind of like your alternative. So until you wait for the Dragon Boost to go into. So that's kind of what I would say for her smash attacks and special attacks. Smash attacks would be a lot of kick-based stuff and whipping her hair. Her special attacks would be the Dragon Boost, which you have to wait to charge, and she could dash in any direction. Any opponent she hits, she can, obviously hit opponents and do damage. She does a Dragon Cyclone, which spins around and hits opponents. She could do a dive kick, which maybe you could press normally, and maybe she jumps up and then does it, but I'd say it'd be standardly a move. You have to be in the air and then press like down B to do like a dive kick. And the blink dash, which is a smaller, lesser powerful version of the Dragon Boost. And also the blink dash can come off of blocking, so it's also an attack that'd be very effective when you're guarding attacks and using your little shield to dive into opponents after you block their attack, kind of thing. So in terms of Final Smash, especially because I never played it, I had to do a little bit of research, and I didn't really. And then I'm like thinking, instead of doing research on something that actually happens in the game, how about I come up with something original? So basically in the game Freedom Planet, it's not just Lilac the main character, there's two more main characters. There's Carol and Mila. And they're all friends, really good, close, best friends, and just like how I mentioned in Lloyd Irving having the party members of Tales of Symphonia, how Shulk has the party members of Xenoblade, the multiple Mega Man for Mega Men for Mega Man, and stuff like that, and like how now Lucas and Ness have party members from Earthbound and Mother 3. How about we give her friends for her thing and do like a triple team friend attack? And basically, you catch you get your Final Smash, you catch opponents in some sort of spin dash, and when you press the Final Smash button, when you get the Smash Ball or your meter goes up for that, you spin a dash into the direction you're facing. If you hit any opponents, they're thrown into a cutscene where the friend Mila, she's kind of like an alchemist. It's like this dog girl alchemist. Comes in and she takes what is called like a phantom cube, and it's like charged energy green. She throws it at opponents and it'll catch them off guard, hits them, and as they're hit by that, her friend Carol T comes in riding her motorcycle, and while she's driving by, she's like, holy crap. She slashes at him as she's riding past him on a motorcycle. So any opponents in the way, she's like a cat kind of thing. And then as they're all caught off guard, like being slashed up and blown up by like a phantom cube, here comes Lilac charging her Dragon Boost, and obviously saying the name Dragon Boost obviously shows that she's if you haven't been able to tell yet, she's a dragon. She's charging up her Dragon Boost, and the opponents are like, huh? They're all like beat up, like slashed up and blown up, like, huh? And this is the group of opponents, and this is Lilac, Dragon Boost, something flying off the stage. And that's a good way to represent both Carol T and Mila, whatever her last name is. I can't remember her last name. And you represent Lilac's friends, and you represent like something they all do as playable characters in the game, so on and so forth. Triple team of friendship. And there you go. That's the final smash. Now, in terms of percentage chance, I can see her actually getting in. I hyped her up enough. I can see it possible because of Freedom Planet 2, which I'm sure they could advertise, and they might be able to work out a deal with Nintendo and Sakurai to get her in the game, or he might target them or something like that. Maybe it's DLC or something like that. But I'm going to give her a fairly low percentage. I'm going to give her about a 40% chance. About 40%. It's not the highest. It's probably one of the lowest indie game characters I mentioned on this list. But that's because I think it's possible they could pick her. But if they pick an indie game character, it was going to be other characters. So far we know Shovel Knight is canned right now. He's an assist trophy. Throw him out. But there are other indie game characters like Shantae and Gunvolt that I feel, or even Quote, that I feel are more likely. I gave them all about a 60 to 80 some odd % chance. And quite frankly, if we do get an indie game character, I'm most certain it's going to be more than likely Shantae, possibly Quote, maybe Gunvolt. But Shantae's like the top choice right now. I don't think Sash Lilac has much staying power to battle someone like Shantae, Quote, and Gunvolt. She might be on the same level as a Gunvolt at this point and reaching Quote sort of in due time. But I don't think she could pass Shantae, and that's not me being favorites to Shantae. I just think Shantae's been around the longest. She has the most games on Nintendo, most history with Nintendo. I think if we do get an indie game character at this point, now that Shovel Knight's out of the running, it's likely Shantae. I'm not saying it's guaranteed Shantae, I'm just saying it's most likely Shantae. But Lilac has a chance. 40%'s not bad. It's probably it's like the lowest I think I've given an indie game character so far, because she doesn't have the biggest staying power, I think. We know where there's a new game coming along the way, but like there's 2 Gunvolt games already. There's Quote and Cave Story is just like an indie phenomenon. And, there's 4 games, and Shantae, big huge history on Nintendo, the queen of indies basically. It's likely going to be one of them. She has a chance, but she has tough competition, and I could see it happening in this world where they don't go for those and decide to go for her, or they go for one of them and then go for her as a double indie representative kind of thing. But yeah, outside of that, it's like it's possible, and she'd be a cool representative in the game, and it's a newer indie game series, but she's not the highest chance. I think 40% is pretty good. It's like that middle ground, low level, but could get bigger depending on how Freedom Planet 2 does. So there is that. So yeah, that's it for Lilac, Sash Lilac from Freedom Planet. Put in the comments if you guys think have you guys played Freedom Planet? Do you like Freedom Planet? Do you like to see it represented in Smash Brothers? Put in the comments below my reasons for why she should get in. Good. What reasons would you have? Should she not get in at all? Is my moveset good? What moveset would you give her? Is that Final Smash interesting? Is 40% too high, too low? Put in the comments below. We discuss it there. And that's it for character number 70 on my series of videos, Newcomer Ideas. And now we're finally in the 70 range, onward out of the 60s, finally. And 71 is coming up, and I'm going to be jumping back into another character from Capcom when I talk about Ace Attorney's own Phoenix Wright. So, I just have to end this video with, my name is Sniping's Fun. Peace. Please subscribe if you want to. Have a lovely day, and objection!